Even though it's Christmas time, things are pretty quiet here in the decks of Canada Place.
It sure is. It was just a few months ago that this place was a sea of activity with people from all over the world in town for Expo.
Wayne, it doesn't seem the same without being greeted by one of those weird promenades.
Well, we had a great summer. But you know, I can't think of a single day that was more exciting than when the Prince and Princess of Wales arrived in Vancouver to officially open our World's Fair. The royal couple actually began their week-long tour of British Columbia in Victoria, but it was here in Vancouver that their most pressing duty lay, the official opening of Expo 86. Vancouver's wet spring weather greeted this nautical journey along False Creek, but the enthusiastic crowds that watched their every move got what they came for, a glimpse of royalty as seen through the eyes of the world's most glamorous couple. Their hectic schedule would test the toughest of metals, but they proved more than equal to the task. 3 years earlier, the Queen invited the world to come to Vancouver to celebrate in the spirit of a World's Fair. It was up to her son Charles, Prince of Wales, to officially inaugurate Expo 86.
So, ladies and gentlemen, together with my wife, we have the greatest pleasure in declaring Expo 86 officially open.
With that simple declaration, Expo 86 was now officially open, ushering in a 6-month-long party, the likes of which Vancouver had never seen before.
British Columbia's beauty has been a well-kept regional secret for years, but I guess that secret is now out with Expo.
And nowhere was that more evident than at the Challenge and Discovery exhibits at the BC Pavilion.
Hey, it's Vancouver!
The reviews are coming in thick and fast. It seems visitors to the BC Pavilion can't sing enough praise for a 20-minute widescreen film that is breathtaking, but leaves you with the impression it never rains in British Columbia. In Discovery, we follow the adventures of Zargon and his cute computer, EQ. Together, they are led around a place that has everything by an even cuter guide played by 11-year-old Firuza Balk.
Welcome aboard.
Where am I?
Hello, Molly.
Who are you?
Me? I'm Zargon. We're exploring. Will you show us around, Molly?
There's nothing much to see around here. Hey, how did you know my name?
We know many things, Molly. Yeah, lots of things.
Molly soon finds herself sharing a unique experience with her new friends, and that's exactly what Vancouver director Rob Turner ordered.
The theme of the film was essentially to give British Columbians an unexpected view of British Columbia.
Besides the imagery, Discovery stands out because it's being filmed in 70mm show scan, a technique that increases film speed to achieve extremely high resolution. Someday, perhaps all movies will be made this way, but for now, everything looks outstanding in show scan, especially this scene.
Do not see, Zargon. Please do not see. Molly is right. You do not have a beard for it, Zargon.
We had a lot of fun shooting the ski sequence, which was shot at actually Whistler. Greg Athens was the, I guess you could call him the camera operator on that. You know, there's a mix of how much thrill footage you can put in a film like that, and you do want to take advantage of the fact that the system allows you to have a point of view like that and really turn people's stomachs in a good way.
Our next door neighbor had to shut his eyes, but I just kept back and did a lot of moving.
Oh, wow. Tremendous show.
It's time we both went home. I'm going to zap you back. Bye, Molly. Thanks for being my friend.
Dear Zargon, I don't know if this letter will ever reach you. Our post office doesn't deliver it to your edge of the galaxy. But I just wanted to say what a great time I had with you. And I hope you'll come to visit BC again soon. Ever faithfully yours, Molly.
One pavilion comes complete with its own rock band, a tin of fish, politicians, a widescreen movie, and more. It's the Challenge BC exhibit, a unique illustration of how British Columbia contends with and manages its many resources. The Challenge experience begins here, in a room full of wonderful creations brimming with color and humor.
Where? Right there.
That's fabulous. Everywhere you look, there's more detail.
I think it's great. It's a fun place anyway. I want to take this.
Our visit ends with a Trimax movie called Our British Columbia. But it's the presentation in the middle that is the most unusual. The fun begins when we appear to take a wrong turn into a warehouse. We're greeted by a worker named McNeil, who has this knack of talking to what's inside the crates of his warehouse. He converses with BC resources like water.
BC gets natural habitats.
And salmon.
Gonna keep our spawning areas clear.
Get the debris out of the rivers and streams.
Help us procreate.
What? Nobody says procreate, Byron.
It was fabulous. Marvelous.
It's very impressive.
Very innovative.
The best thing we've seen so far. We're from California, loved every minute of it.
And an upbeat song and dance number is another reason for the enthusiastic reviews. And speaking of rave reviews, many came away equally enthused after visiting the BC Review. 9 refreshing scenes and various maps make up the BC Review. Each one represents a different area of the province. Within the sets are life-size figures created by Vancouver artist Camrose Ducote. Perhaps Camrose ought to sculpt a character from BCAA to help this poor soul out.
Canoeing up the river, tramping down the trail, New Westminster in the morning and stay walk to Yale. Cold heat, rain or sleet, never known to fail. Here come Red Shirt Bill with the Royal Mail.
Playwright John Gray was invited to write the 18 songs in the BC Review by exhibit producer Mark Osborne. Mark admits BC is presented in a whimsical light, but he's not apologetic.
I think that the province is mature enough that it has capability of being able to laugh at itself, and I think that one of the things that I've discovered in my research on the province is the wonderful characters and personalities and innovators and that do live throughout the province.
Cold heat, rain or sleet, never known to fail. Here come Red Shirt Bill with the Royal Mail.
Look risky? The boom boats are uncapsizable and unsinkable, so the operators put them through their paces to music. Talk about confidence. After this summer of dancing on the water, these drivers won't want to go back to jockeying logs. Looks like fun though, doesn't it?
Here's how it goes. If you're impaired and you drive, you're committing a crime. Even if you don't kill yourself or someone else, you're going to get caught and charged. 20,000 people a year in BC are charged, and 9 times out of 10 they're convicted. 1 out of 3 admissions to jail are for drinking driving. Average jail sentence, 50 days. This isn't kid stuff. When you drink and drive, you're playing for keeps. Counterattack drinking driving. A message from the broadcasters of British Columbia.
Saks Fourth Avenue presents a Pearl of a Christmas sale. This week only, real pearls, regular price $499. Now Christmas sale priced at $199. Saks has just received a large shipment direct from the waters of Japan. Vancouver's best selection of pearls at unbelievably low prices. $199 for genuine cultured pearls in 16 or 18-inch strands. Quantities are limited, so hurry in now. Phone and mail orders accepted. Now at Saks Fourth Avenue, open Sunday, a block and a half west of Burrard.
In the years to come, the sales of Canada Place are going to be as familiar to us as the Opera House at Sydney, Australia, or perhaps the Empire State Building in New York.
But the Canada Pavilion wasn't the only impressive structure at Expo. Many of Canada's provinces got into the act and came up with some very impressive pavilions. We begin our provincial tour with a look back at Ontario.
Any way you look at it, the crescent-shaped fabric roof of the Ontario Pavilion is an impressive sight. No wonder. It was designed by renowned Toronto architect Eberhard Ziedler, the man who also gave us the Canada Pavilion. Inside, the display takes full advantage of its airy home. Walk along these winding ramps for a tour of the latest transportation and communications innovations from Ontario. Recognize SkyTrain? Today quickly flips into yesterday at the pavilion. Commissioner Jack Callan explains a time machine display called Reflections.
It's a very different. It takes you through 5,000 years of Ontario history. There are some interesting ones there with Sir John A. Macdonald riding the two horses. Yeah, that really is good. And of course the one with Louis from France and George III struggling for Upper Canada with Uncle Sam beckoning. It's all quite subtle, but the reaction from the crowds has been very, very good to that.
Within the Reflections Cave, history is lifted off the books in an intriguing 5 minutes. There's plenty for all the senses here, including a 3D movie and a Nouvelle Cuisine restaurant. The Trillium serves up everything from Niagara Peninsula chicken to grilled Mennonite country sausages. The amphitheater is headquarters for 35 talented students from Toronto's Humber College.
It's a lot of fun. And I love the guys I'm working with, and I think we're trying to put on a really good show.
I'm definitely homesick. I miss my mom and my dad and my girlfriend, but yeah, it's great to be out here. I mean, representing the province. We're the best college musicians in the province, and I'm proud to be a member of the band, for sure.
Ontario spent over $20 million to showcase itself at Expo, and judging by the long lineups all summer long, it was money well spent.
As people go into the Nova Scotia Pavilion, Sonia Dubé and Rob Stewart answer lots of questions.
I got a question one day, how far is Nova Scotia to Canada? I had to mention that one.
Do we live in igloos? Do we speak English?
Do we have roads?
Inside the pavilion, it's an audio-visual show on a dozen TV screens. Next door, people file into the Prince Edward Island Pavilion to see another presentation of thousands of picturesque slides of the island and its people. Anne of Green Gables is the most familiar figure we see, and there's a full-sized replica of her in the lobby. Public response is positive.
Everything sort of blended and was soft and relaxing and pretty, and it's a place you'd want to go.
Prince Edward Island Day at Expo brought us entertainment by a group called the Clay Potato. We had selections from the full cast of the musical Anne of Green Gables.
Keep on with the turning and soon to be turning on ice. Green is under the smoke for tastiness, but ice. Green can never be made with hastiness, but ice. Green is wonderful on a storm without to do. Is you
My old hat doesn't fit me anymore, but it was a fact of life in the little town where I was born. It's been a long time since I left Fort Smith, Northwest Territories, but that blue pavilion over there makes me feel right at home. I'm kind of proud. The welcome feeling is immediate. At the pavilion entrance stands a 20-foot-high symbol of northern hospitality, the Inukshuk. At one time an Inuit navigational aid, represents a human form with outstretched arms. While the lineups may be long, the wait is shortened by a host of northern entertainers like Philip Natsiza and his son William, who've come all the way from a town called Lac La Motte. Once inside, your journey to the north takes on another dimension. You'll breathe in the distinct smell of naturally tanned moose hide, and you can't help but be attracted to the voices and faces of the Inuit and Dene you'll meet here.
These people belong to the east, they don't belong to the west. And I think as long as we don't recognize that, there is very little chance we can understand each other.
It's clear that Northerners have strong feelings for their cultures, their land, and of course their present and future. To illustrate the transportation theme, a striking collection of Inuit soapstone and whalebone carvings is on show. The pavilion comes alive, though, when you meet the staff. Sandra works in the craft shop. She's from Cambridge Bay.
What do you want them to learn about the Northwest Territories?
We live up there, and there's people living up there, and we're Canadians, we're like them.
We may not have the north wind in Vancouver, but snowshoe carvers and reindeer burgers sizzling on the grill certainly give us a taste of the territories. And if you like what you see, you can always accept the ultimate invitation.
Come north and visit the NWT Pavilion.
From the outside, the Alberta Pavilion is unlike any other at Expo 86. It's been described as colorful, lively, flaky, off the wall, and curious. You either love it or you hate it. But from the time you reach the door, one word to describe it is friendly.
Hello, how are you this morning? Welcome to the Alberta Pavilion.
Even the bear refuses to growl. A lot of Albertans are taking a long look at their pavilion. The artifacts, a Jacobs bushplane engine that was discovered in a farmer's field and is now the centerpiece for a film on bush flying. Another theater depicts life in Alberta, including the Calgary Stampede. Onward and inward to a cityscape of Calgary, but you get to look in windows and see some interesting things. A voyeur's paradise. Do you know how a grain elevator works? You'll find out at the Alberta Pavilion. And what do the people of Alberta think of their pavilion?
No, I think it's got a little bit of everything. It's got grain.
Super photography of Alberta, and with the planes and the bird. Just great.
It was just super. They did a marvelous job. Really, really great.
You think that's it? No. Outside, every hour, there's a demonstration of mountain rescue on the big wooden tower. The province of Alberta is poking a little fun at the Expo City with its big plastic umbrella. You stay dry under it, and if there's no rain, you can push a button and make it rain as hard as you want. It's an exciting gathering place for people of all ages, and on a hot day, a dare to jump through the water. It's a work by Peter Lewis with the inscription, "An Alberta tribute to our Expo hosts, the people of Vancouver." It doesn't always rain here, you know. It just seems like it.
If you'd like to give a special gift to a boy or girl 8 years old and up, get your pencil ready and write down this address, because I've got just the answer for you. It's National Geographic World Magazines, published especially for kids by the National Geographic Society, the same people who produce world-famous National Geographic magazine. It brings real-life adventure, page after page of fascinating articles and pictures in National Geographic color on animals, outdoor adventure and science, sports, hobbies, and crafts. And yet, while it entertains, it fulfills curiosity, stimulates imagination, and encourages your youngsters to read more. It's amazingly inexpensive, only $18.55 for 12 monthly issues in brilliant geographic color. Compare this once a month, 12 times a year gift to a single gift from a toy shop You can see what a bargain this is. There's no fuss, no shopping, no wrapping, no shipping. You cannot get it at the newsstand or bookstore. You can only get it through the mail, and it's so easy to order. Just send your young person's name and address along with 1855 to National Geographic World, Box 8888, Department A, Vancouver, BC. Each issue has exciting surprises, puzzles to solve, games they can play with their friends, a trivia quiz, stories about remarkable kids, and often supersized pullouts to put on the wall. What a marvelous gift for any young person. It pleases while it teaches. And when you send your subscription order today, we'll also mail a special personalized gift card from you. So send 1855 along with your young person's address and your name for the gift card to National Geographic World, Box 8888, Department A, Vancouver, BC. 12 colorful issues with exciting games and puzzles, big supersized pullouts, and a card from you. This gift lasts a year. The benefits may last a lifetime.
Expo 86 will be remembered as the first time the United States, China, and the USSR participated at one World's Fair together.
The Soviet pavilion was a curiosity, and if the lineups were any indication, it was certainly a big hit.
If there's one nation where getting goods or messages from one end of the country to the other is a challenge because of size, it's the USSR.
Did you see Odessa?
Yeah, I see Odessa.
Okay, come right, just on a straight line.
There it is. Okay, I was bypassing it.
Imagine this atomic-powered ice-breaking lighter carrier smashing through frozen northern seas, or these boats plying the country's 14 seas. It's a lot easier this way, don't you think? As for moving goods by land, the Soviets boast something called Transprogress, a network of air-operated container pipeline systems. This is perhaps the highlight of the Soviet pavilion, an exact copy of Salyut 7, the orbiting space station. Hard to believe as we admire the model here, the real thing is circling the Earth with its crew at this very minute. Like other exhibitors, the people at the Soviet pavilion are out to dispel any misconceptions we may have about their country. That accounts for the huge scientific and technological display you will see. It also accounts for this. This glitzy fashion comes from Moscow, not Paris. And yes, even the models are homegrown.
It's a great pleasure to work here because the people who come to see us are very smiling, I don't know, and their smiles helps us to work, of course.
High fashion or high tech, it's all there at the Soviet pavilion. But clothes were not the only thing the Soviets surprised us with, as Cam Cathcart noted.
Canadians got their first taste of daredevil drivers back in the 50s. At Expo, visitors enjoyed a revival of these antics thanks to a group of skilled Soviet stunt drivers. Appearing for the first time in North America, the Auto Rodeo Vaz team performed at a breakneck pace.
This is the award-winning Lucnica Folkloric Ensemble from the heart of Slovakia in Czechoslovakia, and they're at Expo to celebrate their country's National Day. Czechoslovakia also brought the Kanopa Ensemble, representing traditions from Moravia. While Czechoslovakian folk dancing may be the mainstay of National Day celebrations, the pavilion offers culture of a different sort. Getting to know Prague as a tourist is made easy with the help of Selectorama. Choose a screen and enjoy. From the delight of Old World Prague, our Expo tour took us across Europe, where Wayne had the chance to partake in one of Germany's most pleasant pastimes.
After a long day touring the Expo site, it's kind of nice to just sit back, rest your feet, and have a few beers. Here at the Munich Fest House, they've really captured the old world charm and spirit and have brought it back here to Vancouver. It's in the decor, it's in the food, and maybe it's in some of the people too. And acts like this set the stage for a high-spirited night of entertainment you won't soon forget, because your hangover won't let you.
Munich Fest House for the best beer on site. And the best dancers, and I'm a Tyrolean dancer. What can I say?
The only place to have a good time.
It's called a day in the life of a tourist in Switzerland, but one young fellow who just left here a few minutes ago said it's a day in the life of a ball bearing. No matter what it is, you can't help but be fascinated by the wonderful things it does. Now, just a brief explanation. The steel ball represents a tourist in Switzerland, and we follow his travels. Watch closely.
The message of this pavilion is Britain on the move, and it certainly is. Every display is about some sort of people or goods mover, and there's a feast for scale model buffs. This is a mock-up of the London docks, which is going through a rejuvenation with high-speed trains, buses, and of course boats, a complete urban regeneration. And speaking of high-speed trains, this is the HST, which goes 125 miles an hour, and this Electra, an electric train, will reach 140 miles an hour. A bit of trivia here. British rail trains travel the equivalent distance of 22 times around the Earth each day. Of course, they do stop for passengers, like world traveler Mr. Paddington Bear. Of course, there's the more sedate hovercraft. We've had one plying the waters of English Bay throughout Expo. And we've also been visited by the spectacular Concorde, which visited the Abbotsford Air Show and gave thousands of people a thrill when it flew over our city. But here's an aircraft, well, a spacecraft really, that's in the planning stage, the Hotel. It goes into orbit 200 miles up, and with 60 passengers on board, it takes 45 minutes to fly from London to Sydney, Australia, just in time for tea. And after all that, why not have a taste of British pub atmosphere, complete with entertainment by a pearly king and queen? Oh, by all means, sing along. And if anyone has a birthday, let them know. Of course, for some, this can be a bit unnerving.
May you drink 1,000 beers, get past the Jew bad girl. Happy birthday to you.
Love it. Cheers. Cheers.
Whether it was at the Pacific Coliseum with the highly acclaimed La Scala Opera Company from Milan, at the Kodak Pacific Bowl with a spectacle called Human Chess, or at the Abbotsford Air Show with the daring Italian aerobatic team, Vancouver drew Italy's best this Expo year. Italy Italy also made quite an impression with its pavilion. In a wide-ranging exhibit, the Italians take us along the pathway of civilization using Expo's transportation and communications theme. From a 2,500-year-old priceless bronze Etruscan chariot to an $83,000 Ferrari 3.2 Mondial Cabriolet, the pavilion is a study in human ingenuity. Italy's approach recreates Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine inventions like air screw and gossamer wing. Marconi, the man who gave the world the wireless, is well represented in a gallery devoted to his experiments. And 1986 improves yet another way of communicating with computer technology. A sophisticated piece of software also runs this unit. It's called the Train Game, and it simulates actual railway conditions. It's used to train professional engineers and amateurs alike.
Cut down?
Cut down, cut down.
French Week at Expo was launched in high style with champagne celebrations and splendid pageantry. But that was just to put everybody in the mood for a death-defying stunt. World-famous high-wire artist Philippe Petit orchestrated this performance, dazzling crowds below. He finessed his way across the lagoon between the Xerox Theater and the Cuban Pavilion. Bizarre musical effects of urban sax filled the night with an entertainment spectacle, the likes of which have never been seen by North American audiences. Once you get inside the pavilion, you'll see the French setting the pace in transportation high-tech. This is a replica of the French TGV, the world's fastest train. A mock-up of the control center allows visitors to track the TGV along its route from Paris to Lyon. Traveling at speeds of 236 miles per hour, this phenomenal train covers a distance of 500 kilometers in only an hour and 45 minutes. Some people call this the entertainment highlight of Expo. It was a feast of visual effects and really weird music. Eerie sounds, special effects, and just when you thought you'd seen it all, foam. It definitely wasn't everybody's piece of gâteau, but let's call it another example of the Gallic flair for the unusual, the provocative. After all, folks, it's their day. Vive la France!
How do you get to the French Pavilion at Expo? Well, one way is on the SK People Mover. It's a series of small, comfortable cars that go from the center of the main concourse to the entrance of the pavilion. But that's not the story. This is a demonstration project to sell the SK system to airports and supermarkets to take people from parking lots to the main centers. There's one in operation in France, and the SK people say it's the cheapest automated transport system in the world. Here at Expo, it's just like another of the entertainment rides.
Oh, here we go.
Power Driver, the Power Wheel. Together at last in the most power-packed offer ever. Look, you get the world-famous Power Driver, the tool that made screwdrivers obsolete. Just take any screw and power it in fast and straight without a scratch. Power Driver even has a depth dial built right in. Leave the screw raised, set it flush, even countersink it. It's all automatic. Power Driver works with these tiny screws or a gut-wrenching monster like this. Just power it in or remove it just as easily. Power Driver can be yours now, along with the famous Power Wheel. It fits right on your drill to strip paint like magic. Forget those flimsy paper discs. Power Wheel won't crack or break, and even thick, crusty paint can't clog it. Run into a nail? Power Wheel slices it away. because it's more than just a sander. It cuts, too. Power Wheel glides through plexiglass, shapes tile, even chops through this masonry block. Use Power Wheel to sharpen a chisel or lawnmower blade. There are thousands of uses. Imagine both tools together in one power-packed offer. And as a special bonus, we'll give you Nail Driver. It drives home any nail with one simple push. Want more? You'll also get this 7-piece nut driver set. You get everything. The Power Driver, the Power Wheel, the Nail Driver, and the nut driver set. It's a once-in-a-lifetime offer, so order now.
To order COD or credit card, call 604-669-9194. Or to save COD charges, send $29.95 check or money order plus $3 shipping and handling to Power Combo, 444 Robson Street, Vancouver, BC. V6B 2B5. That's 444 Robson Street, Vancouver, BC. V6B 2B5. Order your Power Combo now. Call 604-669-9194 anytime.
Ramona, what was your personal highlight of Expo?
Oh, Wayne, there were so many, I don't think I could pinpoint one, but I bet I could pinpoint yours.
Even though it had its ups and downs, I had the ride of my life on the Scream Machine.
It was scary. A shock.
This is it, the Screamer. 55 miles per hour, 2 vertical loops, a corkscrew, and the Sidewinder. The best darn ride in the West.
Just scares you up there. You just go flying down and you don't know what's happening. You think it's just ending right there and it's still going down and stomach.
Best thing in Expo, there's no question about it. I had my eyes open all the way and I did all of the screaming that was necessary. My granddaughter Kathy didn't see a single thing, but I saw it for her.
Well, if making a high-protein spill on the Scream Machine wasn't quite thrilling enough, you could always look at the fair upside down on the looping starship right next door. Here's looking at you, kid. Faint of heart, we weren't this summer. Thrills, spills, we even experienced a space drop.
Standing there alone, the ship is waiting, all systems are go. Are you sure? Control is not convinced, but the computer has the evidence. No need to abort. The countdown starts. 4, 3, 2, 1. Earth below us, drifting, falling, floating, waveless, calling,
My hero! There. Well, first word,
Let's not do this anymore.
The Caribou Log Ride is for the whole family and for the less adventurous like me. The only consequence is that you're guaranteed to get a little wet. Ready, partner?
Ready.
Now that was a splash!
Wayne and Ramona have been on some of the rides at Expo 86, but they seem to steer clear of this one. Gyrotron. The idea is that you spin in all directions at the same time and keep your cool. The lateral spin is under your control by moving your weight. The over-and-over motion is by motor. The youngsters seem to take to it like ducks to water. But some people, well, I wouldn't suggest that you eat a chili burger, a pizza, and a Coke, and then jump on this one. Throughout Expo, the carousel has been a great success. The riders range from infants to octogenarians. That's not their religion, it's their age. It's obvious from the expressions that everyone enjoys a merry-go-round ride. This 1907 creation has been ridden in New York, Ohio, and Wisconsin, and was stored in a barn for 30 years. What a reincarnation.
Listen, girls, isn't this a great-looking pizza? Check this out. Lots of special blended cheeses and spicy tomato sauce with all kinds of great toppings. Look, salami, green peppers, tomatoes, and olives. Or ham and pineapple, shrimp or crab, bacon or mushrooms. What'd I tell you? And all you have to do is call 222-2222. One great number, one great pizza. Here, have a slice.
Here's how it goes. If you're impaired and you drive, you're committing a crime. Even if you don't kill yourself or someone else, you're going to get caught and charged. 20,000 people a year in BC are charged, and 9 times out of 10 they're convicted. 1 out of 3 admissions to jail are for drinking driving. Average jail sentence, 50 days. This isn't kid stuff. When you drink and drive, you're playing for keeps. Counterattack drinking driving. A message from the broadcasters of British Columbia.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
Lets you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
At Sears, Eaton's, Woodward's, Lumberland, Kmart, and Living Lighting stores.
Here's one reason why Richmond Square and Richmond Center make Christmas dreams come true. Capture the spirit of Christmas at Richmond Square and Richmond Center, number 3 Road, just south of Westminster Highway.
The theme of Expo 86 was transportation and communications. Pavilions like the United Nations and Ramsey's explored that motif from a variety of perspectives.
And so, too, did the Air, Land, and Marine plazas dotted throughout the site.
The Air Plaza at Expo 86 has been set up to celebrate man's ability to prove that humans can fly. From a distance, the Aviation Plaza is enticing. From the ground, it needs concentration. Visitors are put to the test to identify what's above, but no matter, it's fun, and there are some familiar aircraft to contemplate. Because Expo 86 is a transportation fair, people like Ed Zaleski of the Canadian Museum of Flight are front and center.
There's a real resurgence to nostalgia, to preserving our past heritage, and this is what we're concerned with.
In fact, thanks to Mr. Zaleski's group, Expo visitors are able to enjoy a rare rebuilt Norseman close up. Also on display is the gull-winged Lysander, first built 50 years ago. Contrasting with the Boeing jumbo jet is the Boeing 80A, used on the main American routes by United Airlines back in 1930. It carried 12 passengers. As well as the displays, volunteers from the Museum of Flight are carefully restoring a vintage stamp airplane. the Expo 86 Aviation Plaza. Linger a while and enjoy.
The imposing figure of a peregrine falcon. This is the god Horus, and it is watching over a child who is known to us as Ramses the Great. But just who was this Ramses? The magnificent treasures housed at Expo's Great Hall of Ramses II are tribute to a man who is regarded as one of the greatest architects and pharaohs of Egypt. One admirer who attests to that is Dr. Richard Sullivan, a history instructor at Simon Fraser University and the author of a book called The Story of Ramses. He says you cannot compare the Ramses exhibit with that of King Tut.
It's not really the same scale of spectacular gold and diamonds and what have you. If we had the original tomb of Ramses, it certainly would have outdone Tut many times over, because he was many times the pharaoh that Tut was. He ruled 67 years, for instance, as opposed to about 9. And he was probably the most famous Egyptian pharaoh in antiquity and down into the Middle Ages. Physically, he was small, as Egyptians tended to be. Very compact and powerful, very well-muscled man. He was, of course, very athletic in his youth and went to war quite early on, as any young pharaoh is expected to do. Politically, he was very astute. He was a much better politician and builder than he was fighter.
Ramses left behind a legacy of stability in Egypt, but he also left behind some 200 children. We can't be sure how many wives he had, but history tells us he did have a favorite.
Nefertari, yes, was the real beauty that he fell in love with as a youth. And he praises her everywhere. All of his buildings mention her.
Arr, mateys, what better person to take you on a tour of this here maritime collection than me, Short John Silver. But seriously, there are probably more vessels from more different countries all over the world assembled in this small harbor than have ever been together before. And we'll take a look at them.
Of course, the full-size replica of Captain Bligh's Bounty is for now the gem of the collection. Members of the crew are preparing their rigging for an adventure in the South Pacific. Meanwhile, she's here for all of us to see. In stark contrast is this ancient Asmat canoe from Indonesia, a simple dugout canoe with a figurehead of a bird. Another ancient craft is this Lakatoy, a multi-hulled canoe from New Guinea. The hulls are lightweight logs, but the superstructure is woven reeds. Like another contrast, here's the Lotus, a 93-foot houseboat cruiser owned by retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Kurt Gruy of Olympia. He told me that he's proud to own the Lotus because the hardwood floors, light fixtures, and even the cushions on the deck benches are still 1909 vintage. Not restored, maintained with loving care for all these years. Here's an Imbach reed boat from Kenya, truly an ancient means of water transportation. This looked like something from Africa? It's a British coracle, a cowhide stretched over a frame of twigs. It was invented by poachers in Scotland and England to sneak into the private game reserves. Like a change? Well, up at the pond in the Marine Plaza, you can often see some grown men playing with their scale model BC Coast remote-controlled boats. The detail on these little craft is fascinating, and the people gather around and watch at length. Back to the harbor, this sleek gondola was a gift from the city of Venice to Vancouver for Expo and the Centennial. Its finish is ebony. A Chinese junk sits offshore, just out of reach. And this is a 70-foot dhow from Pakistan. The dhow is considered to be one of the earliest ships afloat. As a matter of fact, some people even believe that Noah's Ark might have been a dhow. Not much room for elephants 2x2, but lots of room for other animals.
Animals of all sorts had no trouble getting into the spirit of Highway 86, one of Expo's simplest yet most popular theme areas. Judging by the crowds here, this is certainly a real popular exhibit.
It is. It's a playground for ages 75 and under as far as I'm concerned. You've got adults climbing all over things and kids all over the place, so it's great. It's a lot of fun.
So what do the kids love to play on?
Everything you see here is what they play on. Even the adults. I had a gentleman standing on the top of a car figuring he was, you know, back in his younger days. Everything that you see is popular with every kid. Motorcycles, bicycles, everything you want, we've got.
The Land Plaza is just a place to look at, sit on, and touch vehicles of the past and present from all over the world. And why do people flock here? Look for yourself. I did. Pardon me, could I have a vanilla? Oh. All aboard for Hong Kong. Hey, I just want to tell you, you guys are a hazard to traffic. You know, you're in and out all the time. From the different ways we transport ourselves to a look at how we deal with global issues of all kinds.
The United Nations has chosen 1986 as the International Year of Peace. The theme of the UN Pavilion is Peace Through Communications, and exhibits demonstrate the positive ways in which peace can be achieved through modern communications technology. Cameras are set up so you can see yourself on closed-circuit TV after recording your own personal message for peace. Michelle Archambault is one of the pavilion's staff.
People are saying that peace is something that has to start within the individual. You're at peace with yourself, and then there'll be peace in the world. Other people are very aware that the nuclear question, the fact that we have many arms, and that's sort of hanging over our heads. Other than that, it's very personal.
Is there something that you would like them to learn from recording these messages?
To learn? Well, simply that the idea of peace has to be talked about and thought about, and if they're thinking about it obviously enough to come up and say something about it, then that's a start.
If you're a bit shy to go in front of the camera, you can express your thoughts on paper. People are really taking advantage of the opportunity to make a commitment towards peace.
Well, I think we need messages for peace because I think everyone has to understand what peace is. And I think everybody wants peace but doesn't know how to accomplish it.
It's worth trying, even just a small portion. Maybe it will work. We have to start somewhere.
There's plenty of interesting information that will give you a realistic idea of the challenge we all face, and some of it may shock you, like the $2 billion per day spent worldwide on armaments, a figure that becomes even more staggering as it grows over the course of a single year.
United Nations Day at Expo 86, and what better occasion to launch a song and video about peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Expo 86 Peace Choir.
And who better to sing the song than some 70 representatives from every participant at the World's Fair. John Denver also lent his voice to the chorus. Stacy, creative director for the Pavilion of Promise, got the ball rolling by writing Peace on Earth. From then on, volunteers cut the soundtrack, recorded and edited the video to get the song on the market. This is the result, with all money raised by Peace on Earth going to the United Nations as part of the International Year of Peace.
Peace on earth. More than just a dream. And we land from sea to sea, living in harmony. Peace on earth, let it be, while we still have time to give the children laugh and sing, to lift our voices high. It can start with you and me, and in them the world will see. Though we live so far apart, there's no distance far to heart. Peace on earth, let it be, while we still have time to hear the children laugh and sing, to lift our voices
Next week, our look back at Expo will include a tour of the Americas and the countries of the Pacific Rim.
We'll also see Canada Place and all the corporate pavilions. Until then, on behalf of Wayne and myself, we'd like to wish you the best of the holiday season.
Merry Christmas.
A magic canoe. It could become any size you needed. Large enough to carry an entire village, or just the right size for a boy, like me. But its greatest magic was this. You only had to sit in the canoe, wish where you wanted to go, take one stroke with the paddle, and you were there.
GM was not the only corporate pavilion to provide innovative first-class entertainment on site. Bill Dobson has more on Canadian Pacific's Expo contribution.
Inside the pavilion, we stand in front of what they call the Time Wall. It's a fascinating audio-visual show that tells how advances in transportation and communication technology have all brought new problems. I think you'll get the message from this small sample.
They call that progress. Some progress. India knows better. Now they have crowded cities, too much traffic, crime and poison air.
The name is William Cornelius Van Horn, chief builder of the Canadian Pacific Railway.
Once upon a time, in a timeless place, there were 3 kingdoms. One blue, one red, and one gold.
And the big finish is the movie that had an Academy Award nomination even before Expo opened, Rainbow War. It was made in BC with BC actors and technicians. It's a lesson in overcoming prejudice.
In time, there came a new idea, a moving new idea, and the world would never be the same.
But as they say in Hollywood, Expo crowds ain't seen nothing yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flight 86 is now ready for boarding. Mesdames et messieurs, vos numéros 4 et 6 pour l'embarquement.
The airline calls it kaleidoscope, a sophisticated multi-image presentation of light, sound, and laser technology. "65 screens project the images of 12,000 slides using 195 projectors. With an original soundtrack, time and space of 50 years of air travel is telescoped into 15 minutes. From high-tech to a more reflective and warm look at Canadians in Telecom Canada's Circle Vision.
Ladies and gentlemen, Telecom Canada proudly presents Portraits of Canada, Image de Canada.
The audience is surrounded by 9 huge screens and a sophisticated audio system that puts you in the center of the action. Every half hour, visitors can journey through spectacular scenery and see Canada from a whole new perspective. Look out, here comes an avalanche. In the exhibit hall, there's some great stuff for kids. Youngsters can phone their favorite Disney characters and see themselves on TV. All sorts of displays demonstrate the practical uses of communications technology. From the communications of today to the romanticism of the bygone era of train travel, Expo covered it all.
To celebrate 150 years of rail travel in Canada and to be part of Expo, Via Rail has transformed the old CN station in Vancouver. In fact, the brass and glass, the first paint job in 40 years, the sparkling four-sided clock, all have effectively rejuvenated the Vancouver landmark and added comfort for travelers. In the process, Via has turned the station into an Expo pavilion to celebrate 150 years of passenger rail travel in Canada. Visitors are guided through 6 historic time zones in which mimes act out the stages of Canada's railway history.
The year was 1919. The new company was off to a good start. In just a few years, trains were rolling over 22,000 miles of track.
History also awaits on the tracks outside the station. In its day, this train was the ultimate in Canadian luxury rail travel, now brought back to life after 8 years of painstaking restoration. 10 complete trains of the Trans-Canada Limited were operated by the CPR, but only these cars remain, rescued from oblivion by the Cranbrook Railway Museum. Nearby, the young and young at heart can journey down memory lane aboard Via's scale model railway. These pioneers are working replicas of the earliest locomotives in North America. The John Molson is from the Canadian Railway Museum near Montreal. But as railroading developed and the size of engines grew, the railways did away with the glitter and got down to business. And their business was carried on by these giants, with pulling power to match.
I love the smell of the steam and the cylinder oil and the coal smoke. I never get so tired, so dirty, so fast, and enjoy it more than when I'm running a train with this thing.
This Canadian National 10-wheeler was built in 1913 and hauled freight and passengers until the 50s. The oldest operating steam locomotive in Canada is number 3, built in 1882 for the CPR and last operated by the City of Winnipeg Hydro. For rail fans, Steam Expo is a dream come true. For the simply curious, it's guaranteed to make rail buffs of young and old alike.
Engine 374, the locomotive that pulled the first transcontinental train into Vancouver. And the Roundhouse, the oldest surviving industrial building in the city. And it also houses one of the most successful pavilions at Expo 86. And if you think you're going in there just to see some artifacts, you're in for some surprises and a lot of fun.
Once you pass through the corridor of anonymous and unsuccessful inventors, you enter the main roundhouse to see a collection of restored vehicles. And they're very nice.
Would you believe that my engine is so tiny? 16 times smaller than yours, but not weaker.
Oh, don't tell me it means I'm 5 years older. I was put together in 1907 Liberates.
That's right. They're talking to each other. If you stop and listen, they'll tell you their stories. Just when you think it might be getting boring, the boys come out for a test flight. The centerpiece of the roundhouse, a working replica of Stephenson's original steam locomotive, the Rocket. Oh, yes, it talks too.
Ladies and gentlemen, what memories
Are people walking all over your name? They could be if you bought one of the heritage bricks in front of the Roundhouse Pavilion at Expo. The Heritage Bricks program is sponsored by Imperial Oil, and the proceeds go to the BC Heritage Fund. One of its first projects was restoration of Locomotive 374 that stands in front of the Roundhouse. Each brick costs $19.86, 1986. And if you want to see your name in brick, just ask the attendant, and a computer will show you the location. Some of our well-known British Columbians have contributed, and their names are there. You too could be stepped on and be proud of it.
There's, of course, all the marvelous entertainment that comes to town, and there was a lot. I can think of La Scala, the Royal Ballet.
Great international performers like Bob Hope, Kenny Rogers, Sheena Easton, Bryan Adams. I could go on and on. But some of the hidden treasures were the street entertainers that seemed to pop up everywhere.
They've come from places like Australia, Germany, Yugoslavia, Japan, and the States. And they've arrived in all shapes, colors, sizes, and personalities.
Oh, my goodness. Hi, Mom.
The extravaganza gave us the entire range of puppetry, from the huge body puppets of a troupe called Theater of Giants.
We're going to sing right now, and Garlou really is a fine, fine singing talent. Now, I don't want you to think...
From drama to comedy, Canada's John Pattison put on a fun show at the Flying Club with strange friends who live in suitcases.
Sing for you right now. Now, in fact, he's been taking vocal lessons for quite some time. Now, I got my foot stuck. Don't interrupt me. Now, ladies, I got my foot stuck in the box. Just be quiet. Now, I got my foot stuck in the box, you idiot!
Don Bryan, a fellow ventriloquist, was also on hand with Mr. Noseworthy.
Listen, I want to talk. Listen, yeah, I have something. You don't listen. Yeah, I'm talking. Look, will you keep your mouth shut when I'm talking? Why should I? You don't keep yours shut when I'm talking. Hello? Hello? Can't you hear me? Fingers in my ears. Oh.
And this is the bouncy Dennis the tennis ball.
What did you do before you played tennis? Used to be a bouncer.
Now here's a puppeteer who knows how to pull his strings. American Philip Huber works his magic into a musical review, almost better than the real thing. From marionettes to the real-life thing, Expo visitors were rarely at a loss for entertainment of all kinds. Mimist Mark Wenzel playfully poked fun at first-time and repeat visitors alike. And who could ever forget Fred Garbo, billed as Expo's smallest pavilion?
Okay, this is harder than it looks. Just grab my foot and don't tickle. Don't cut it out. Grab both hands, both hands. Okay, one hand right here on my instant right there. Okay, better back up, better look out. She's going to pull this thing hard. Pull it. 1. No, on 3. 2. 3. Get her, Paul. Got it. Oh, my gosh, an amazing feat. Give her a hand. What a feat. An amazing feat.
Even the long arm of the law found its way onto the Expo grounds. The mechanical man proved that there was more to robots than just Expo Ernie. Now, you've got to come clean for this trio. Duncan Betty, otherwise known as the line maintenance crew, is more fun than a rubber duck and a bubble bath.
Line start to move now. No big gaps. Big gaps just cause problems, you know? Soon people start to stampede. It's like another hoop.
Move! Come here there, buddy. There's another earring buff to do. Buff right in there, the ladies.
We better give her a stereo buff. Stereo roto buff. Stereo roto buff.
Oh, Mo, as soon as you've done that, we got a major problem back here, guys.
Okay, here you go.
Come on, there you go. One of you Mo's come back here. We're all set. Okay, Dave, thanks a lot, Dave. Have a nice day and have a nice night, everybody.
Yo, see you later. Have a good day.
After hours, the Expo site was still rocking.
The Tower of Power!
Battlestar Galactica invades a Lionel Richie Pepsi commercial. Non-stop live entertainment and non-stop partying. Welcome to 86th Street.
Best place to be if you want to have a good time. Come down here.
It's the people.
The light show is really incredible.
Great time.
Yeah. It's got a big lineup, so it's got to be.
So if you had a 1 out of 10 rating for Expo 86, what would it be?
11.
Another hit was the Unicorn Pub, the best Irish watering hole this side of Dublin.
Could have been the whiskey, might have been the gin.
How long have you been waiting in line here?
So for about 15 minutes.
Half hour.
I don't remember.
I wasn't at a party. I'm sure it's just my memory playing tricks on me. But I think I saw my buddy cutting down my neighbor's street. Could have been the whiskey.
What would make hundreds of people stand in line for hours to see a local band that's had only 2 hit records play Irish folk music? Good, clean fun, that's what. There's nothing like it.
This is wonderful. It's great. I'm having a super time. We get to sing and dance and have lots of fun with the music and play with spoons and on the guys.
The Rovers truly have the luck of the Irish and have taken advantage of an opportunity that's made many local businessmen green with envy.
What kind of a crowd do you attract?
We attract the drinkers and the fun people. People who want to enjoy themselves and can enjoy themselves, like I say, and still be able to say at the end of the night, I had a great time, and leave it under their own steam.
You want to have a good time with good people, they come down here.
Come on down. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. Unicorn.
We enjoyed sharing with you some of the highlights of Expo 86, the event that put Vancouver front and center on the world stage.
We sure had fun.
And we hope you did too. On behalf of Bill, Cam, and Judy, we'd like to wish all of you the best in 1987.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Something's happening. There's something in the air. The world is spinning. A heartbeat faster. Tomorrow's calling. Can't you hear it? To people everywhere. Reaching out to you and me. The future's ours to share. Together we can catch a rising star. can touch tomorrow. Discovering the wonder in our minds and in our hearts.
Together we can touch the sky, you and I, share our dreams and watch them fly, celebrating. Something's happening here. Together we can touch the sky, you and I, share our dreams and watch them fly, celebrate, celebrate. Everybody celebrate it. Something's happening here. Together we can touch the sky, you and I, share our dreams and watch them fly, celebrate it. Something's happening, something's happening, something's happening, something's happening, something's happening, something's happening here.
This is CBC Television.